We've all learned how to travel smarter over the years, but airports have learned too. And lately it feels like they've turned that knowledge against us. From sneaky seat upgrades that aren't really upgrades, to new check-in rules that quietly trap seniors into paying more. It's all wrapped in polite smiles and helpful suggestions. This fall 2025 update pulls back the curtain on how airlines and airports are quietly changing their playbook, using technology, new baggage limits, and subtle wording to squeeze extra money out of senior travelers who simply want a smooth trip. We're not talking conspiracy, we're talking strategy, the kind that targets patience, trust, and good manners. So let's level the field. Here are 8 airport secrets airlines use to trick seniors and how we can spot each one before it costs us. Most seniors think the exit row is just about legroom, but it's actually a hidden psychological screening checkpoint, long before wheels ever leave the ground. Exit rows aren't just seats, they're filter zones. Airlines use them to silently test passengers, especially seniors, for obedience, alertness, and compliance. Here's how it works. At check-in, the system suggests an exit row, presented as a perk. More space, free upgrade, designed to look like a favor. But the real test begins when a flight attendant walks up before takeoff and asks one simple question. Are you willing and physically able to operate emergency exits if needed? What they're really measuring is reaction speed, hesitation, body language. Anyone who shows the slightest confusion, physical stiffness, or delayed response, flagged instantly, but silently. They'll politely move you to another seat, but now your traveler score drops. That score affects how you're treated for the rest of the journey. Baggage scrutiny, re-verifications, extra questioning at boarding, even future flights. And here's the trick. They want seniors in the exit row, not to help, but to assess. It's manual profiling disguised as a courtesy. The smarter move? Never accept exit row automatically. Choose aisle, close to standard boarding lane, where visibility is high, but scrutiny is low. Because in modern air travel, the real screening begins before you even sit down. Most seniors worry about what's inside their bags, but what TSA is really scanning is us, our faces, our posture, micro movements. TSA's outdated behavioral detection system, codenamed SPOT, screening passengers by observation techniques, quietly runs at every major US airport. It doesn't scan for weapons first, it scans for stress responses. And here's the irony most people don't know. Trying too hard to look calm actually gets you flagged faster. Frozen smile, overly rehearsed politeness, avoiding eye contact too carefully. TSA interprets those as learned deception signals. Because criminals rehearse, normal relaxed travelers don't. The SPOT system assigns you real-time suspicion points, even before your luggage is screened. TSA officers are trained to spot micro-stress cues, jaw clenching, shallow breathing, hands held too still, eyes scanning too little or too much. You could be completely innocent, and still read like a possible concealment risk. That's why some seniors get randomly selected again and again, not because of what they packed, but how their body reacted trying not to look suspicious. The smarter move? Don't overperform calm. Just move naturally. Look at things like a normal person. Stretch your shoulders, breathe visibly, let your face move. TSA wants to see human, not perfect. Because at modern security, your behavior is scanned long before your belongings. Most seniors believe boarding stress begins when the airline calls their group, but by that time, it's already too late. Gate agents have been quietly evaluating passengers for several minutes before the first announcement is even made. Their job isn't just scanning boarding passes, it's pre-filtering. And here's what they're silently watching for, while pretending not to look. Passengers squinting at signs or rechecking their gate repeatedly, flagged as less confident. People standing too early near the gate door, flagged as impatient, high intervention risk. Overly polite seniors waiting far back, hesitant to step forward, interpreted as easily redirected, upsellable. Constantly adjusting bags or shifting weight, possibly not fully in control of belongings. Holding passports, boarding passes visibly in hand the whole time. Nervous, unsure, easy to override. Then comes the illusion, random boarding pass scans, random bag reways, random reassignment to secondary lane, but by that point, you weren't chosen. You were pre-selected minutes earlier based purely on behavioral signals. This is called soft profiling, and gate agents are trained to do it faster than TSA, because they have less than 20 seconds to make judgment calls per row. Smart defense: stand relaxed, middle distance, not too eager, not too passive. Look like someone who knows airport rules, not hoping to be helped. Because at the gate, you're screened before you're even scanned. Most seniors assume gate agents are just enforcing rules. But in 2025, that's only half true, because some airlines quietly reward gate agents for catching passengers before boarding. It's not always about safety, it's about revenue extraction. Here's the part airlines don't advertise. Gate agents are put into gamified performance systems. Every overweight carry-on caught at the gate, additional revenue generated. Every forced baggage recheck because your personal item is too large, score increase. Last-minute seat reassignment due to balance or safety, triggers hidden upsell alerts. Some agents even compete internally. Leaderboards, monthly bonuses, internal recognition walls. Not for helpfulness, but for successful pre-departure captures. Which is why you see sudden bursts of aggressive enforcement only in the final 10 minutes before boarding closes, when they know you're trapped. You have no time to reorganize or debate. You're forced into yes mode. The illusion? They frame it as safety or regulation. The reality? It's a perfectly timed financial ambush. Legal, documented, intentional. How seniors fight back. Board early, even if it means Group 4 instead of Group 8. Don't hover near last call. Stay out of that final minute chaos zone. It's where most traps are sprung. At many gates, being too early is safer than being perfectly on time. Most seniors don't realize that one of the most common airport fines is self-triggered, because airlines masterfully create situations where travelers voluntarily incriminate themselves. You've seen it before. The little metal bag sizer cage or the feel free to measure your bag here station. Harmless, right? Actually, that bag test is optional. You are not required to test your own bag unless directly instructed. But here's the trap. The moment you choose to test your own luggage, you legally acknowledge that size is now an active issue. If your bag is even slightly over, they can instantly charge you. And it's no longer a debate because you triggered it. Airlines design this whole setup as psychological compliance theater. Signage says, please. Positioning makes it look like a courtesy tool, and it's placed right where nervous seniors look for reassurance. The irony? If you never touch it, most agents will never check you manually. But once you self-audit, they have documented justification to escalate. Airlines know seniors tend to be responsible, rule-respecting, eager to avoid conflict, and they weaponize that. Not against rebellion, but against kindness. Smart move? Never self-test. Only comply when an official request is directly made. Because in airports, the fastest way to get charged is to volunteer. Ever notice how airlines rarely announce a 2-hour delay up front? Instead, they drip-feed 30-minute extensions over and over. That's not poor communication. That's deliberate psychological containment strategy. Airlines know that if they announce a 2-hour delay immediately, seniors might stand up, eat properly, walk, recharge, or even rebook calmly. But if they announce just a 30-minute delay, you'll stay seated, stay waiting, stay controllable. It's called hostage planning. They don't want 180 passengers scattered and relaxed. They want them mentally paused, close enough to the gate that future updates still matter. That prevents crowd chaos, rebooking pressure, and refund demands. And here's the truly strategic part. A long delay triggers legal compensation thresholds in some regions. But if they break it into rolling micro delays, it often avoids official delay classification altogether. You lose time, but they keep the legal clean sheet. What seniors must understand, the true delay is almost never the first delay announced. If they say just 30 minutes, mentally assume at least 90 and act accordingly. Eat, hydrate, walk, recharge. Do not sit frozen. That's what they're counting on. Because in air travel psychology, The trap isn't the delay, it's how politely they deliver it. In 2025, many seniors won't miss flights. They'll be erased from them before they even arrive at the gate. Airlines now use predictive offloading software that calculates, in real time, who is unlikely to make it, before it's actually true. If your boarding pass hasn't been scanned early enough, if past airport behavior suggests you move slower, if your connection time is under their AI comfort threshold, the system may auto-sell your seat to a standby passenger, assuming you probably won't make it. You'll walk calmly to the gate, on time, only to be told,
"We thought you weren't coming. Your seat was released."
No apology, no fault, just algorithm. Here's the stunning contrast. United, pro-human. Sometimes holds departures a few minutes if they know seniors are en route. American Airlines, anti-human, famously offloads too aggressively, optimizing data, not dignity. You can be physically at the airport, and software still deletes you. Why this matters? The game is no longer about being not late. It's about being early enough to not get predicted late. Best move for seniors. Check in as early as humanly possible. Stand near gate, not at gate, so you're recorded with invisibility zone. In modern aviation, you can lose your seat before you've even lost time. Airlines don't want to refund you anymore, ever. They want to trap your money inside their ecosystem, not send it back to your bank. And in 2025, they've nearly perfected it using what they call future travel credits. Sounds helpful, feels flexible, but it's actually financial containment. Here's the truth. Flight credits expire silently, often faster than you expect. They're non-transferable, sometimes locked to the original traveler, and restricted to equal or higher fare classes, meaning you usually have to pay extra to even use your own money. No real cash leaves the airline, but more can still flow in. Airlines love seniors in this system, because statistically, we're more likely to postpone trips, change travel seasons, forget stored credits entirely, or
assume we'll use it eventually.
Billions are trapped in these unused digital wallets, revenue earned without any service ever delivered. And airlines legally call that a completed customer cycle.
The illusion? We're doing you a favor. The reality? It's a wealth retention strategy at scale. And once you accept credit, true refunds are almost impossible to reclaim later.
Smart senior move. Always ask, is this a cash refund or non-refundable flight credit?
Say refund out loud. Force the distinction. Don't accept default credit.
Because in modern airlines, they don't just hold your seat anymore. They hold your money. In 2025, the new power travelers aren't the loudest, richest, or most loyalty status members. The new elite are the ones who disappear into the system. Not flashy, not hyper-prepared, just behaviorally invisible. Airport systems, human and AI, no longer reward confidence, wealth, or politeness alone. They reward predictability. Travelers who blend in without triggering vigilance from TSA, gate agents, or algorithms glide through like ghosts. Not because they're privileged, but because they're low intervention risk. Here's the new hierarchy airports quietly follow. Invisible, calm, consistent, not too perfect, not too clueless. Protected sympathetic mess, confused but harmless, watched, sometimes assisted. Overly controlled, highly alert, treated as potential problem. Entitled, resistant, too strong-willed, containment priority seniors often fall accidentally into categories 2 or 3, when the goal is always to be number 1. That means not over-explaining yourself, not performing calm, not hovering or signaling confusion, not acting like you're waiting to be helped, just moving through like you've done this 100 times, even if you haven't. In 2025, the true airport upgrade isn't first class, it's invisibility. This is the silent advantage that lets certain travelers skip drama entirely, without spending $1 more. Because at modern airports, power now belongs to the least noticeable. Airports are no longer just transportation hubs. They are behavioral laboratories, designed to guide, restrict, and monetize passengers using subtle psychological engineering. And in this new era, travel is no longer just logistics. It's mental chess. Every sign, delay announcement, random check, please step aside, or free upgrade offer is built to move you into predictable patterns. Patterns that are profitable for the system, not protective for the traveler. There are only two types of people flying in 2025. Pawns, emotionally reactive, waiting for permission, accepting every new rule quietly. Pattern breakers, calm, observant, and one step ahead, not rebellious, but aware. Cooperative, but never passive. Modern travel dominance has nothing to do with youth, physical speed, or even money. It's about awareness supremacy. Understanding that every decision you make, when you stand, where you sit, how you look at staff, even what you don't say, signals your position in their system. And here's the shift most seniors must embrace. Airports no longer test your body first. They test your psychology. If we don't adapt to that, the system will always dictate the experience for us. But if we do, we move from being managed to being uninterferable. Because in 2025, freedom isn't given. It's mentally earned. Now you're no longer just prepared. You're officially dangerous to the system because you can't be easily steered, delayed, or extracted from. Most travelers never learn any of this. They just keep adapting to whatever the airport throws at them. But once you understand the psychology behind it, you stop becoming the target. Send this video to the one person you know who always gets caught, charged, or delayed without understanding why. You'll save them a year's worth of frustration in one move. And if you want to stay ahead, not just survive airports, but quietly win against them, subscribe now. Because the next update won't be about avoiding fees. It will be about avoiding full travel permission scoring, which is already being tested behind the scenes. We adapt early, or we get managed. We just cross the line into the first group.